If we want to have influence with people, we need to study storytelling. Find out how we can do that in today's show. Welcome back to Year 4, this weekly edition every Friday of the Japan Business Mastery Show. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie franchise owner Tokyo, master trainer, president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery. Zaegyo is the Japanese translation of Japan Sales Mastery. My new book is Stop Wasting Money on Training, or in Japanese, Training de okane o muda ni suru no wa yamemashou. We are bringing the show to you from our studio in the High Performance Center here in Akasaka in Minato-ku, the business center of Tokyo. This is episode number 167, and we are talking about want to be influential? This is how. Before we get going, a quick word from our sponsor. If you want to be successful as a leader, do the Leadership Training for Managers course. All companies need people who can both manage and lead. Leading people screams out for real skills in communication, dealing with all different types of people, being excellent at innovation, planning, delegation, handling mistakes, doing performance reviews really well, and inspiring and motivating the team. Do the Leadership Training for Managers course now in either Japanese or English. Are you doing business with Japan? Do you really know how things work? Japan Business Mastery provides the answers. Do you have the right networks and know how to create them? Do you know how to get on the same wavelength with Japanese buyers? Do you know what being trustworthy looks like from the Japanese perspective? Japan Business Mastery is based on more than 30 years' experience in Japan and will become your go-to guide. Want to succeed in Japan? Buy Japan Business Mastery now. Welcome back. Okay, now it's time for the show. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. Want to be influential? This is how. Don't think of a pink elephant. Did you think of one? It shows how easily we can be swayed by images. If I had said, don't think of the letters P-I-N-K-E-L-E-P-H-A-N-T, you would have probably been fabulously successful. What is the difference? Both refer to the same prohibition. We are very much more susceptible to images, yet we rarely use this facility when we're trying to have influence with those around us. We think that force of will, desire, status, oratory, personal power, connections, or wealth is how we can have influence with others. In various circumstances, some of these will work, but most are out of reach to the ordinary punter. What else can we do? Well, we can incorporate images into our conversations to persuade others to follow our recommendations. Getting others to follow our ideas is how we have influence. And we have all heard that storytelling is a powerful vehicle for explaining recommendations to others. Yet we don't craft our story content, nor do we practice the delivery over and over to have the best effect. There is a simple formula that is a powerful engine for gaining influence. If your idea doesn't engage the emotions and logic of the listener, they're unlikely to be convinced of its value. It is a subtle approach. Ramming our ideas down the throats of others is the usual way people approach conversation to get their way of thinking. This widespread habit has spawned a public of doubters, skeptics, naysayers, trolls, and haters. We have to recognize that this is our potential audience from the start. So, don't tell people what you want up front. I think we should hire more salespeople right now to expand the revenues. You say fervently. Instead, we need to build up some images in our story that lay things out in such a way that the audience leaps ahead of the story. We want them to arrive at our own conclusion, same as ours, that we should hire more people to raise the revenue. The storytelling should have scenes that the listener can see in their mind's eye. We might say, last Friday, I was up on the 44th floor of the headquarters in Akasaka, having a coffee with Suzuki-san from the CFO's office, talking about how to achieve the President's recently announced 5-year revenue targets. Interestingly, she said they had just finished a computer simulation analysis of the results from the last 5 years. They found that sales per salesperson were averaging around 40 million yen per year. I was surprised to hear that even first-year newbies more than covered their costs in the first year. I always presumed those new hires were a cost to the company. Suzuki-san was busy getting ready for another presentation a little later that afternoon, so she walked me over to the gorgeous new dark wood panel boardroom on the 47th floor. She booted up her laptop and showed me this line graph on the big 65-inch monitor there, that each year the average increase in salesperson revenue was 50%. I didn't know that by year 3, the salespeople were really starting to pull in sizable revenue numbers. It was interesting to me that new hires cover their costs and that the real results get going in year 3. If we are going to meet our 5-year targets, we should hire more salespeople right now. If we do that, they won't cost us anything this year, and in 3 years' time, they'll be producing the big numbers we need. Now, that story required a little over 1 minute to tell. I included people, locations, images they could identify with to make it real. At the very end, I made a call to action, hire, and then finished off with the icing on the cake with the benefit of doing that action, produce the big numbers we need. Don't free-form when trying to have influence. Carefully plan what you will say. Practice it and get it concise and digestible for your audience. If you do that, you will have influence and people will follow your recommendations and ideas. I hope you enjoyed today's show, and so please subscribe to it on YouTube. Share it with your family, friends and colleagues. Become a regular. Hit the little bell icon to receive update notifications. Our website details are on screen now. dale-carnegie.co.jp. It's awesome value, so check it out. We try to offer as much value as possible, so you might also enjoy our other shows. In fact, we're releasing content 6 days a week. By the way, how many companies, let alone training companies in Japan, are doing that, do you suppose? Answer, just one. Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training. Now, for podcasts, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, Tuesday for the Presentation Japan series, and every second Tuesday for the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show, Wednesdays for the Sales Japan series, Thursdays for the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday for the Business Pro Podcast Show, Fridays for the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays for Japan's top business interviews, wherever you get your podcast. For TV shows, Mondays for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, every second Thursday we release the Business Pro Television Show, every Friday the Japan Business Mastery Show, and every Saturday Japan's top business interviews on YouTube. We appreciate your support, and please let others know about it so they can benefit too. We want to make a contribution to helping people, and please join us in that endeavor. Our training mantra is, we are 100% committed to using our soft skills training to transform your career and business. Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training are in your corner here in Nippon. In episode 168, we're talking about project management made easy. Onegai itashimasu. Please join me next week to master business here, because that is what we all want, isn't it? Japan business mastery.